Welcome back to another video where I'm hoping that, thinking that I might just have exposed the cambonano account, not the cambonano one, but the cambonano one, from all of the tweets on Twitter and all of that stuff. See, according to Social Blade that I put the account through, the account was created November 2017. But her first video was only uploaded a year ago, which was 2018, not 17, sorry, I had to remember what year. Yeah, but that's not the only thing though, is I can't back check this as such, which kind of annoys me because I didn't save it, but from what I recall, a lot of these videos were up a lot later than they were on the cambonano account. But there is one thing that bothered me, which was the fact that the first video is a year ago. If this was just created, they'd all be from a day or two ago. But I don't think it's just created either. I think this was created a while back to create publicity, and just now it's become big, is my theory. Maybe. Now, maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not saying for definite. I'm just saying that those are the facts that I've discovered, and I find it kind of weird that there'd be an account that just sat dead for a year, and then all of a sudden just uploads daily. Now, where it'd be much easier to take the videos from the cambonano account and then upload one a day. See, and I know it's not like there's been any lost, because that first one is called first video. So that helps me out with that. The first one was only a year ago, and the second one was 10 months ago. And then the rest were all uploaded 10 months ago, then a big chunk 9 months ago, which is a bit odd, but not really. That could make sense. Bit odd, but not really. Now, I'm not 100% saying that the cambonano account hasn't stolen from this cam one, but the cambonano one's first video, from what I remember, I mean, like I said, I can't backlog, the videos keep getting deleted and re-uploaded, but from what I've backlogged, it looks to, from what I've recalled from the backlogging I did a while back, I can't back check this unfortunately because I didn't save any of the videos, I didn't think they were going to go anywhere. But from what I've backlogged from that one's first video is closest to when the channel was made, which when you run that channel through Social Blade is I know it's later than the other one. This user is not found this time. I don't know why it's done that. I haven't put in the wrong name, you stupid fucking thing. It was running earlier. It doesn't want to run through Social Blade for some reason. Being a bitch. Yeah, it don't want to run through Social Blade, but it was later. The account was made later, but even that could be explained if it was turned out to be that I was right, because that very easily could have been an account that had just been sitting dormant for a while and then eventually used for a troll or thingy. But the only problem with that is that I don't know for certain, because like I said, I haven't known the person who runs cambonano, whoever that might be, for ever or anything, but from what I would have assumed, I assumed that she would have probably had a YouTube when they started, which would have, but then again though, that could have also just meant that other page when it started was just a dormant, non-used page. I mean, it'd be very easy to get that page to the subs though, as it only has 50 subs, so it's not like it had to been up for a long time. And, you know, I mean, it's not like it had to be active for a long time, it had to be up for a long time, if Social Blade is correct. But it's like it doesn't have to be active for a long time, and the thing that gets me is there's activities logged from the cambonano account on the Wayback Machine, but none from cambonano. Like when you put cambonano's account through the Wayback Machine, there's nothing shown, which could just be that nothing's been archived, but it also could be that there was no activity on the account before the first year, which would have made sense either way, but is interesting that it just sat dormant for a year. Yeah, I'm very on the fence about this. I'm not sure, because as you guys know, might know, might not, I don't know. Like, the person who runs the cambonano account, and a lot of the pictures he or she, whoever it was, confessed were fake and were from the sites that they were from before it was leaked to me. Even before it was leaked, they'd been confessed to me in the DMs. I'd just completely forgotten about it. Like I've said in many other videos, it was leaked beforehand that the pictures were fake, and then Bobblehead Foot got hold of the real accounts and leaked them. And then after that, it came through that apparently that the other ones came from the cambonano account, the ones that that have been claimed are her. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but from the way things look, the cambonano account she's supposedly stolen from seems a little fishy to just straight up say that they were stolen from there. I mean, like, there's too many things that don't add up with that account. Like, for example, after I messaged that account, a fan by the name of, by the name of Chucky Doll, I thought it was something more than just Chucky Doll, had replied with some very interesting things, like, first off, having like 25 minutes of fucking hell, it slipped my mind, of accusing me of being the one behind the cambonano account. And if anybody is behind cambonano that isn't Kim, it's not me. It's not me. Even if it's somebody who's not Kim, it's not me. There's a comment here, and I'll show it because it doesn't seem thingy. Like, is the comment that that account could be fake too, which, you know, like, I'm not saying with certain, but if you was a fan, then I would assume, and this person commented on every video, so I assume they're a fan. If you was a fan, I assume that you would maybe give some insight of how long you've been watching, or what's going on, or even if like somebody's like trying to find more information about this account, if that's the real account, more information would maybe be a thingy sent to you by a fan. Like, for example, if it turned out to be fake before it was fake, and if not, you know, like, this is very hard to make this video because of how on the fence I am. When I assumed that the account was definitely real with nothing that could have possibly made it fake, people would ask me questions about Kim all the time, and that, you know, DM me or ask me publicly, and I'd give any information that they needed because I was a fan, and I knew, or assumed I knew, depending, that Kim was a good person. If also, in one of the videos, she straight up says that her name is Kimberlia or Kimberlana, however you say it, but why would it be Cambonano if her actual name is more closer to Kim than Cam as well, is another interesting observation I made. Cambonano just makes more sense logically, so I think it's a troll account, honestly. But also, they just spent 25 minutes accusing me of being Kim, which Bobblehead Foot, Donk, FIFA Chick, and all of the others have accused me of too, and all of the ones in their little circle jerk, which makes me believe it even less because, you know, I mean, it's very possible Bobbles talked to her, the 4 people who messaged her, maybe there's more, but I only saw 4 people messaging consistently. Very easily faked with an account that's not been touched for a while. It's not hard to do. at all. They could have very easily have just switched the things to Kim's videos and all that, because everybody knows they've been screenshotting all of Kim's stuff. That's not a secret. You can look on any of their Twitters. That's not a secret at all. Now, I'm not saying for definite that this is the case, but everything more and more seems to add up to that being the case, though. And and the person on the account talks a lot like Bobble does. As you know, I used Bobble recently for some views as well as the others, so this very easily could have been them trying to convince me by using the logic of the fact that that account came first to abandon Kim as like retribution. They could have been like, well, that wasn't a real account, we've just made you abandon your friend. That very easily could be the case as well. Yeah, I mean, I said I was on the fence at the beginning, but I'm thinking I'm leaning a bit more to the fact that Kim is probably the real account now. However, when that tweet went public, everything she did went silent, comments and everything. However, as we all know, and like, I know this isn't 100% proof of this being a fact, but this helps a lot to understand the mindset. Is when you go onto Twitter and search Twitter for cambonano, one of the first tweets about cambonano is the Dutch foot traders tweet calling her a catfish, and one of the first comments on that tweet is about how it's well documented that Kim's admitted that some of the pictures were definitely fake and took them from other websites. We all know that. That has been confessed on the Twitter, and how he takes Twitter way too seriously, which is true. And let's consider that's more of a fact than an opinion, because it kind of is. Let's say that this him being called paranoid and all that, his only reaction to it was a laughing tweet. So clearly he's clearly upset about being called so serious about it, especially since as well afterwards after the person shows a picture of his face that's clearly in his profile picture, he gets mad and demands to see his face too, which is kind of a thingy in its own right. Is kind of is the fact that is that, as like most of us know, that she's not fake, she's just being edgy with the pictures, putting up pictures of other people and how it's taking it so seriously. But let's be honest, right, yeah, if that's the real Kim, the cambonano, right, yeah, it would make more sense for her to put her Twitter on private and put her comments and disable her comments, because everybody in the foot community is taking this so seriously because of the vendetta they have against this account. I mean, maybe it's a catfish, maybe I'm wrong, but if this is the real Kim, right, yeah, then the vendetta that the foot community have against her, it makes more sense for her to just stay out of it now and let these idiots squabble between each other, and then eventually they'll forget about it and move on to somebody else like they've done in the past, and then maybe come back in a month or so. That makes a lot more sense. So that isn't all that surprising. She's done that in the past. I've seen her do that in the past. So if that's the real her, it's not out of characteristic, and it makes more sense than having them lot harass her constantly, especially since of how mad I got at all of them, especially FIFA Chick, because let's say that this is a thingy account, that this is a catfish account, right, yeah. Them lots that are just going around and saying that saying that I was the FIFA Chick account has gotten like people tweeting about me and everything. Like, it's good for publicity, and maybe I took it too far I'm going to quote tweet the one I sent to FIFA Chick now, because that's the one that maybe I need to apologise for. The others I have no regrets on, but I'm going to load up my tweet to FIFA Chick, not my tweet, sorry, my YouTube message to FIFA Chick. I'm going to read it out word by word, and then Yeah, well, essentially, because I can't be arsed reading this massive paragraph, but essentially what I say is, it's clear that even if this is a thingy account, you know, a catfish account, I keep forgetting what they're called that now. Even if this is a catfish account, it's clear that you, Berg, and Rocket Raccoon, and Spaz and Ty, which are clearly Bobble, because Bobble looks like an animal, and Spaz and Ty was clearly Nelly, but, and that's irrelevant, but, well, not irrelevant, that, otherwise I wouldn't have said it, but, then I brought up the fact, then this is the line that I maybe need to apologise for. You talk about toxicity, but are you aware you're being just as toxic, bro? If Kim is fake, I was wrong, but clearly, tweeting about, shit, fucking hell, man. Then clearly they're tweeting about me being FIFA Chick, when I'm not FIFA Chick. If FIFA Chick is fake, then I was swindled like anybody else who followed the page. But I'm not convinced anymore. I was convinced when I first saw it without looking into it properly, because admittedly I was getting ready for work when I woke up to all of it. Didn't really get to see much of it, but through going through it all afterwards and having a bit more of a look, I'm not convinced anymore. You're not convincing me now, hold on. It's like you're not convincing me now, because I've seen some more of the stuff, and some of the stuff doesn't add up, and especially the fact that the cambonano account, the one that's supposedly not the catfish, has been dormant for a year before starting. Like, maybe it wasn't even created by Bobble or any of them guys. Maybe it was just created through Kim's videos by somebody else, and they accidentally stumbled across it and assumed it was somewhere they took their thing from because they did the quick search and found out that that account came first, which would be understandable. I'd understand that, to be fair, and I'd understand why Nelly would take a story like that. But if you ask me personally, being as unbiased as I can right now, I don't think the cambonano account is the real one. Now, at first, if you'd asked me if I'd made this video half an hour ago, then I'd have said there was a good chance the cambonano one was the real one, but I don't think so if you ask me now, because a lot of the stuff doesn't quite add up, and as you know, I feel like if this was a real account, a lot more would add up than maybe does, because we have confirmation that that's the first video, but that first video could have been uploaded first from Kim's account, and it doesn't make sense that the first video on that account came a year after its set up. I mean, like I said, it could have been used for just liking videos and then changed to a YouTube channel. I'm just covering everything because what's it called? Because I don't want somebody to be like, at the last minute point out that like, oh, you didn't say that, and then like try and use it as me ignoring facts, when I'm trying my best here to not ignore anything that could maybe. But the one problem with that though is, actually that might just work, that does kind of make sense, but at the same time that seems a bit sus that it'd wait a year. It's like, I've had accounts that I used for thingy first, but then shortly afterwards I've seen like people making videos and wanted to get in on it, if you know what I mean. I don't want to run this too long, so that's my take on it. I mean, I'm open to anybody from the FUT community, or anybody else even for that matter, for comments. Yeah, and I'll talk to anybody about it, but the story, just in case, I'll quickly go over the story, just in case it turns out the account is fake, is that I was, like, a little bit back when Kim was on 300 followers, was retweeted by Sniper Wolf. When Kim's account saw my tweet that had been retweeted and messaged me, and then we messaged back and forth for a bit about FIFA and stuff, and eventually we were messaging in DMs, and that's how the friendship started. And eventually I was invited to join the FIFA crew YouTube crew that they were in. I mean, there's probably a more official term for it, but I'm just gonna say YouTube crew because I have no fucking clue what to call it. But that's the story of what happened to me and how I found FIFA Chick. Not FIFA Chick. Cambonano. Sorry, I got confused then. I'm looking at the FIFA Chick video still and got confused. But yeah, that's my take on it. Is I don't think the account's real, but if it turns out that's the real one and the other one's fake, I'm not doing it. And I would appreciate it. I would appreciate to talk with FIFA Chick or Bobble or anybody else, because if it turns out this account is fake, I would like to make sure that I stop having my name tweeted involved with it, because the only part I'm involved with it is the part that I was sticking up for somebody who was my friend, or I assume was my friend, depending on which account was real, if that makes sense. And it was completely out of friendship and not because I was defending another account I had and thingy in. I only had no problem losing my Twitter because at the time I thought I'd lost it. I mean, I still might have done, because like I said, I'm still not convinced. But at the time, I 100% for sure, without doubt, thought that I'd risk my account for a good cause and preventing harassment, because it still could be accidental harassment, because I'm convinced that if the account's not real, I'm half convinced that they didn't know, because honestly, think about Nelly, for example, the biggest example I could give for this, right? Yeah, is if it got leaked that the account was definitely fake, the cambonano one, the one that Kim was supposedly stealing from, that was the fake and Kim was the real one, imagine how many subscribers he'd lose and how quickly he'd lose them. And then there'd be FIFA Chick who was talking about all the toxicity and stuff. If it turned out she'd been toxic to Kim and the account was, and Kim was the real account, then imagine how many subscribers she'd lose. And she already is a fairly new YouTuber and a fairly low followed Twitter account. So that wouldn't be worth it just to get a few shots in on somebody who they don't even care about. So I'd assume that if it's not real, they had no clue of it. But I think this is in the same way as the other Bobble account that had been creepy and obsessive with the supposed cambonano account. There was an account called, I'm going to see if I can pull this up actually, because I'm pretty sure it still exists. It did last time I checked. Bobble 3. That's the wrong one. Well, I can't find the page at this moment, but I did tweet it out before my account was banned. That there was another Bobble account. I've forgotten the name of it. It'll come to me, don't worry. Where it uses Bobble's picture and everything, and then has like a load of tweets about about all of this creepy shit that was supposedly said about cambonano, which I feel could be the same situation as well. Like, I feel like maybe Bobble just made that account because of whatever reason, but maybe that's the same situation as well. But except from, I'm a bit more sure that Bobble didn't make that account for real, if we're being honest, because why would he? Why would he make an account that one day could backfire as bad as that? But if you ask me, the cambonano account is the fake one, from my logic anyway. But like I said, if you think I'm wrong, I'm open to talk about it in the comment section. Anybody's welcome.